Welcome to another part of Wild Racing. This time we're going to begin the first tournament of the game, which is the beginner one. Using the kimono for it, and yeah, we're starting off USA. Here's the thing about these. You've noticed that there is best race and best lap, and that they're both the same. Because in the beginner championship, you only have to do one lap. That's about it. Normal, which is the amateur, you do 2 laps, and pro is 3 laps. Which means that there's more race time compared to lap at that point. But, for now, with beginner, race and lap are exactly the same. So all we gotta do is just beat the time that was shown there with the best, and, you know, that's about it. You just beat that, and you move on. Every does have a time of day to it, but it's all like optional times of day. It's not like gradual times of day because these do not last that long at all. So, yeah, the game's going to choose its own times of day for each championship. But other than that, we will basically just get like normal day time of day for every other time we deal with these championships and such, I mean the tracks. And yeah, here's the AI, by the way. They only appear in the normal races, including the championship, and, well, if there's one issue I have with the AI, it's, right now, they're not that bad. They're actually, you know, not even that good, in fact, compared to the kimono. I mean, they can kind of catch up, but not really that much. As you can see, if I just start going more speedy, they really go back forward, so... Yeah, for the most part, as long as I just go fast, they can't fuck with me. It's none of the corners be the biggest issue here, and as long as I know how I'm doing the corners, it's still not a problem. I can handle this. Again, for the most part, like, the beginner stuff is like a cakewalk, essentially. We're not going to have any trouble with it. We're going to get through it, no problem. It's going to be when we start getting into the amateur stuff that the game starts showing its true colors. Like, it's showing a little bit of it here, beginner, but nothing that is, you know, really going to showcase how much of a dickhead this game's going to be. In fact, it kind of puts a false sense of security on you, especially with demos, because you're thinking, oh, this is going to be fun, it's just another racing game, kind of be fun, maybe some challenges here and there, but nothing too, you know, big of a problem, right? Nothing too big of an issue. And so far, the beginner stuff is just basic as fuck, so the rest of the game must not even be that hard. And then you literally get to about the halfway point of the game, in a sense, and you start to realize just how bad this game's gonna get. For the most part, I just, you know, I've had experience with the game now, I've beaten it completely, so I already know what's coming after the beginner. But you, unless you played the game yourself, you're not gonna know how bad this can really get. And as you just saw there, I really just slid out from that because, again, the road makes your traction a lot more loose. So sliding off the course is gonna be much easier on the road, especially if you go back on the dirt. So you really gotta learn how to control that handbrake, and it's not that easy. But yeah, we've done the first race, and I've done it under the best time limit, so we've done the time. And as you just saw, so did everybody else. I think it goes without saying that all these best times we've seen here, with the best race and the best lap and shit, yeah, the AI is going to beat this almost every time. Without fail. So, in order to beat these times, you just have to not lose to the AI. That's it. If you can beat the fucking AI at their own game, then you win. You beat the time, and you're fine. So now we're in India, and this is kind of where the AI starts showing a bit more of their colors, because the biggest issue of the AI is that they're unpredictable. You can't really tell what they're going to do. You can't really tell how they're going to play out. They are also very violent. You see, right now they're not big of a problem because, you know, they're beginners, so the AI isn't very smart. They're not going to be, like, that big of a problem. But as we go forward, I want you to note how fucking violent the AI starts getting. Because, you know how people tell you, or even me in fact, not to, you know, knock other races around and not go off course and all that shit, not cut corners and all that crap because it's dirty and wrong? Well, think of the AI as essentially the dirty people. The entire fucking game. Even right now, they're smashing the walls and such like I am in a sense. And they're kind of fighting over each other. So, yeah. The AI is just not friendly. It's not friendly at all, and you don't want to be behind them. And for a beginner, you're not. It's when you get to amateur that becomes an issue. So, for now, on beginner, the AI is not going to get in your way, because you'll be able to get far away from them, and for the most part, you'll be fine. The main issue for you right now is we're dealing with these free tracks. That's about it. But, yeah, get used to these free tracks, which you will. You pretty much will, because you'll be going through these multiple times. The time trials, and the challenges, obviously, and the tournaments. Your main issue is going to be the other two tracks in the game, because as you can tell, you'll be playing them a lot less, and when we get to those tracks, right now I don't even want to talk about the problems with them. We already know the issues with these three, so we kind of already had a gist of just how harsh this game is going to get with this. Let's not go into, like, the really bad shit until we actually have to deal with it. But now, though, as you can see, I'm nearly done now, essentially. I just have to get past the fucking, like, pipeline area and get all the way back to the finish line from there. And as you can also see, even though I'm going fairly fast and not making that many mistakes, the AI is doing its best to stay right behind me because, unfortunately, even though I'm faster than them, corners are still a prick, and the AI kind of cheats in the corners. You see, you can't turn very well. Your turning is very tight, and the best you can do is just handbrake, and it'll give you better turning. That does not happen with the AI. In fact, the AI can turn so much better than you that they can do a perfect U-turn without even any kind of trouble at all.
First place. You left them standing. Yeah, it's a new lap record.
Yeah, it starts to look worse when you go into, like, pro, when all the AI is just going violent and fast and shit, and yet you just see the AI pull off a fucking perfect turn while they're sliding across. You cannot control your slides that well. The AI can control slides inhumanly, in a sense, with how the game logic plays out. It's just fucky. It's just really fucky. Anyway, we're now on the Icelands now, and, yeah, we're dealing with the ice. By now, the AI isn't going to be that. It's not going to, like, go for this ice and just, like, perfect it. But it is going to pull some bullshit. So, obviously, I want to get the fuck away from the AI. And, yeah, if you are behind them, it does tell you, like, the plus percentage of how far behind you are. And yeah, look at that. The AI always goes around. Like, I believe they go around all the time in beginner. On amateur, about almost all the time, and maybe half of them for pro. Like, for pro, only like 2 of them, like the last 2 don't bother with like going through the ice to go around it. But the first 2, the ones that are going to be second and third for you and all that shit, they will actually go for the ice, and they will actually try. So, yeah. That should give you an idea on, you know, how the difficulty of this game is going to make you think it's going to be fine. Like, it's going to be like a sort of slow slope. No, it's really trying to fuck with you. Also, the signs. The signs just stop you so dead in your tracks. It's just embarrassing. And here comes that slide. As you can see, I got fucked. Here's the AI. Now, to be fair, what they're doing is they're just going forward, and then they're stopping and then turning. You can do that too. I don't. But this is the beginner AI, and the actual pro AI does things differently, and they do things in a way that I cannot find a way of replicating at all. Like, I just can't find a way of replicating this shit. And by the way, for those wondering, yes, this entire Let's Play was done with controller. Which means that, yes, I was indeed playing this with the D-pad. I was not using an analog stick for this one. Because, for one thing, I find using the D-pad for driving games to be awkward. Because you have to deal with the pressure sensitivity thing. And, like, you have to, like, to do turns like a steering wheel, you have to, like, press the stick, like, halfway, or, like, a quarter or whatever, and you gotta get used to that, and it's just... I'd rather use the steering wheel, honestly. It's a lot more janky using the stick as a steering wheel. So I'm better off using the D-pad, honestly, because it just feels better to me, and I don't have to, like, fucking precariously move the stick around like a fucking idiot, essentially. But hey, after going for the beginner competition, we are now done. We completed all the times, and yeah, we've beaten our first competition, which is nothing really, because it's the easiest one in the game. And I got all first, so there you go. So, what's our reward? We get a gold trophy. That's all we get, really. Well, we get a whole bunch of unlockables as well, but yeah, the main thing is the trophy, which we get from this cutscene. And with that, we have gotten the beginner. And, yeah, now we're an amateur. And as you can see, there's a new location ready for us, too. But the first thing is we got the Mud Blaster now. So, we gotta deal with that. And as you see in amateur, we also have a new location. That's locked in...
Mexico.
Yeah, Mexico. You can only do Mexico in amateur. Beginner does not get Mexico. So, yeah, that's how this is working, and it's awkward. Anyway, Mud Blaster is up next, and as you can obviously tell, it's more letters than Kimono, because Kimono was 6, and this is like fucking 9. Like, actually, it's 10. It's 10 letters. It's not the biggest, but it is the second biggest, because it nearly fills up that left side. It nearly gets close to that fucking little HUD there, you know, the mini-map. Our main time to beat is 3 minutes 50 seconds, and unfortunately I didn't know any of the letters, so I had to kind of just look around for them. And that meant I had to stop and restart. Because here's the thing. Amateur adds things to this. You see, in beginner, you didn't have many shortcuts at all, really. You know? Not the case with fucking goddamn amateur and pro. Like, they start opening the tracks up. So even though I'm, you know, currently doing the same thing, nothing's really changed. You know, it's all the same so far. You know, there's the D. We got the mud now. Now we get the blaster. So nothing too big of a problem right now. You know, nothing too noticeable. Trust me, you'll notice that the game's gonna make you look for this shit first before you go and like do an actual run, because it starts hiding letters in some fucky places. But right now, we should go through and deal with more of these little zigzags here, these little U-turns. And, yeah, for the most part, nothing's really changed. We're still doing the same path as before. And, all of the letters are just lined up with the normal path. Sure, they might be in some of the grass, or they might be, you know, a little bit out of the way in the sec. But, you know, they're not too, you know, terrible. They're fine. It's after the uphill that you start to notice something has changed. Like right off the bat, nothing's changed at the downhill. It looks the same. Get the A on that jump even though the jump's awkward. And you just continue on forward. You cut this corner here and you move on. But as you go over this U-bend and continue on forward, look at the mini-map. Just take a look at the mini-map. When you go around this U-bend, and you go around this way, and we start going all the way straight, I just want to look at that mini-map and just see something that is just kind of slight, but it's immediate. Have you noticed it? Because I fucking noticed it. So, there's a shortcut available now. And it's right to my left. And it has the S. That's not all. There are 2 shortcuts available to us. Actually, there's 3 shortcuts available to us. You see, the T is right up ahead, up this wall. And the E is against this wall, requiring me to make quite a narrow skip there, all the way to it. Bit awkward, but I managed. But the R, the last letter, have you noticed there's a weird zigzag area? That's because there's a hole here now. And you go in, and there you go. And that's a taste of what this game's gonna do about these shortcuts. But for now, we got Mud Blaster.
Mud Blaster.
Alright, so the Mud Blaster quest. Now it's time for the Mud Blaster skill. Here are the stats. The speed's already pretty much on par, but we know we can do better once we do the skill challenge. Which, 26 seconds, get the ball through. It's honestly not that hard. So, yeah, just do what I do and you'll be fine. But yeah, the letters, like, it's not that bad currently. It fucks you a little bit because you already went through that course and, you know, you probably did it twice at that point, so you were starting to get accustomed to it. But then you notice they put new shortcuts in, and now you're wondering what's changed with USA. Because the game isn't going to let you check that until you do the time trials. And you're also wondering what they've changed about Iceland. Here's me just going ahead and taking care of this bull. Just knock it across like an angle. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of things. Easy one. But, yeah, the main thing is that they've changed the courses now, and you have no idea what the 4th level they've unlocked now is going to be like. It could be a nightmare, and it kind of is. Anyway, Mud Blaster is nearly maximum top speed, so obviously we're using Mud Blaster. 21 seconds beat the stunt course. This stunt course is awkward. It's not difficult, but it's not really good either. The main thing you gotta deal with and be worried about is a jump. A giant car jump, I believe. And, yeah, if you don't have the speed for it, you're gonna fuck up the jump and you're gonna start flipping like mad. So, get up over here, get up that hill, be careful around there, but be fast. And then, start going as fast as you can down the hill, go as straight as you can, and jump both of them. Be careful not to get fucked, and there you go. And I do mean be careful not to get fucked, because when you land on the second one, the game can sometimes just force the slide on you, and you can't control that, and you just miss the finish line, you lose your gold. Anyway, we've done the Mud Blast, but now we have the Griffon, because the game's giving us 2 cars to use now. And you might notice that the kimono only has a yellow, whereas the Mud Blaster has red. Red is the maximum, essentially. And also, 3 minutes to get the Griffon letters. Griffon is 7 letters, so less than Mud Blaster. It's not easier. It's not. And I will show you why very soon. First of all, you might notice the G is already blinking. Because we're very close by the G. Like, it's right to our left, in fact. You notice how there's a new shortcut to my left? And you might notice something rotating over there as well. Yeah, the G's there. It's not that bad right now, but when you're doing the race and you want to cut away from that U-turn, and you're kind of going quite fast, it can be a bitch to time the slide in. Also, aim yourself good for that R, because it's easy to miss when you're just going like straight forward through the ice. Remember, you can't really control your fucking momentum and all on the ice in this game, so, you know, it's ice physics. So just aim good and don't miss. There's not a shortcut over here, and it's to my right. It's one that I'm not a huge fan of, though, because the snow does slow you down still, and, yeah, there's still a bump at the end, so, you know, I kind of just avoid it at that point. Here's an F. Here's this other shortcut that was always open to us, but as you can see, it really is just kind of janky. It's not that fun to use, and I don't like using it either, so I don't use it. The AI will try to use it sometimes, but even they will struggle hard on it, so it's not even useful for them. We got the F, so as you just saw, I kind of did what the AI did beforehand, and it worked, so again, it's not the problematic one. But yeah, we now have Griff. So where's the on? Well, the developers decided to make it take quite a fucking distance to get the on, because they just really want to make you go as fast as possible through all this shit. But to make matters worse, the developers went ahead and added one little fucking thing to this. if you want to get both of these, you're gonna have to get the O and then backtrack. And then go to a shortcut path that's now unlocked to get the N. You can kind of see that's a bit shitty. Well, let me show you what I mean. There's the O. I'm going straight for it, and I'm going back now. Okay, there's a shortcut here now. What's a shortcut? It's a big jump. Make the big jump, and the end is right there. And it's very slidey here, so be careful. There you go. Again, not horrible, but you're starting to see where this game's starting to get iffy. We got the Griffin now, so whatever. So now we have Griffon. How good is Griffon? He's average. In fact, he is worse than Mud Blaster. Even if I get this skill challenge and I get the upgrade for our engine, Mud Blaster is going to be better than this car. So the game awarded us with a good vehicle, and then the next vehicle it awarded us with is shittier than that vehicle. Why? Why would the game give me a new vehicle that is worse than the previous? And we just unlocked both of these essentially, so I'm confused. And I'm not a fan of this mission here because you gotta really be careful when pushing this down because you don't want to get stuck on the walls. The walls, they're bastards. I'll get to what a bunch of bastards the walls are soon, but right now, don't get stuck on them, get the ball in, and move on. And yeah, then all I got left is just the fucking, like, the, not the skills, the stunt. That's it, the stunt shit. And yeah, you can see that it hasn't improved at all. It's got the same top speed as the Mud Blaster, but it's got worse control and acceleration. So, again, they've given us a worse fucking vehicle. Why? You just already gave me a good vehicle. Why give me a shitty one now? Like, right after. That makes no sense. The logic is backwards. And what's worse is this stunt challenge kind of sucks. Because what you have to do here is make a turn, jump this gap, and then as you make this turn, you want to make sure you have some speed going on, slide here, and go as fast as possible up this extremely steep hill. If you're not fast enough, you will not make this hill. That took me like 8 attempts, and I cut out all of them to give you this successful one.
Griffon.
You're welcome. And yeah, then they challenged to get the amateur one, which we're not doing next time, because next time we're doing Time Attack, in which we're going through the USA, through fucking Iceland, through pretty much everything we've already done, and India, and we're also going for our new map, Africa. So I'll see you all next time for Time Attack.